Let's speak to our reporter, Camille Knight, standing by at the Elysee Palace. Hello to you, Camille. It's a rainy day here in the French capital. How will things go down with this visit between the two leaders?
Yeah, quite the day for it, as you say. This is Volodymyr Zelensky's 12th visit to Paris since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, so he's becoming quite a regular here. We're expecting him to arrive any minute. Guards are at the ready, and we've been briefed a little bit about what the two presidents will be talking about. Obviously, as you can expect, financial support to Ukraine and also ways in which the EU can pressure Russia into ending its war, particularly with a focus this time on targeting Russia's shadow fleet of tankers that allow it to export its oil and fuel its war machine. They'll also be discussing military cooperation, and particularly drone cooperation. So looking at how French and Ukrainian companies can work together to innovate, because the Ukrainians have really become pioneers in terms of drone combat on the front line. So they're proving to become quite valuable partners. Now, this, of course, comes at a really critical time for Ukraine. There are a few estimates out there about how much money it has left to sustain itself, but some putting it as soon as next month or early May. And, of course, we know that the EU's loan has come to hit a bit of a roadblock, with Hungary and Slovakia vetoing that €90 billion loan that was supposed to help Ukraine defend itself until at least the end of 2027. The big issue there, that Druzhba pipeline that provides Hungary and Slovakia with oil, that was hit by a Russian drone back in January, and Robert Fico and Viktor Orban accusing Ukraine of delaying repairs as kind of political blackmail. Kyiv obviously denying that, but that might be something that Macron wants to discuss with his Ukrainian counterpart, seeing if there's anything he can do to speed things along, or to kind of at least appease Orban and Fico so they can get that loan through before a deadline next week. If they can't, the countries might have to start thinking about bilateral loans, which of course is a possibility, but it does undermine the kind of unity and strength of the European Union as a bloc.
Yeah, and a lot of difficult questions amid everything you just outlined there. Also, if geopolitical priorities have shifted, how has the war in the Middle East disrupted support for Ukraine?
Of course, the spotlight is off Ukraine at the moment, and that's never good news for Volodymyr Zelensky, who needs all the support he can get. Now, when you listen to a number of high-ranking officials, they say that kind of Russia is the big winner of this war, and it is benefiting in a number of ways. Just the price of oil going up, for example, directly boosts its revenue. Because despite these sanctions, it's still a major exporter to countries like China, to India now, as you mentioned, with those restrictions being lifted by the US. We've also heard Trump floating the idea of potentially waiving oil-related sanctions. Now, he didn't mention Russia specifically, but of course that's at top of everyone's minds, and the EU will be desperate to convince Trump that, as you can hear, Zelensky is arriving right now as we speak. The guards have begun. That's Zelensky arriving now to the Elysee Palace. Macron waiting for him just behind me. Walking up the stairs together. All smiles from both leaders. And a warm handshake, as always. Now,
all right, Camille, thank you very much
for those talks. They'll be holding a conference later.
All right, Camille, thank you very much. Camille Knight reporting from the Elysee Palace. As you saw there, Volodymyr Zelensky making his 12th trip to the French capital since Russia's full-scale invasion began. Thank you, Camille.